Hi, I'm Rick Lippert, and I'm part of the Anvil conference team, and I'm here with Matt Harrington, who just finished up one of our amazing sessions on vulnerability, innovation, and trust. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate that. One of the things that actually came up in topic in the course was, and the reaction from the participants, was your comment about 80% of our interactions and learning, and part of that is trust.
Sure.
Can you elaborate?
What was interesting is kind of said as an offhanded comment we were doing in group session and letting them talk with one another. And I wanted to make a point that, look, you're only going to learn 10% from me as the instructor here. You're going to remember one or two things I say today, and the rest, you're going to forget my face, you'll never remember me. But the people that you're talking to right now, and I think that's always the power of a conference too, which is we learn 80% by social learning. That means when I talk to you, you talk to me, and whether that be at a conference or at a dinner or wherever, that I'm learning from you. I'm always learning from you, and you're always learning from me. So I wanted to encourage the participants, don't just sit in your silo and write down the answer to the question. Talk with one another, because you're going to get so much information out of the person right next to you.
So it sounds like that adds some stickability to the whole interaction.
Absolutely.
You also mentioned about the different stages of team building and team formation, and it seemed like you really focused and hit home on the storming phase.
Yeah, well, I think when we were talking about innovation, we're talking about vulnerability and trust. So often innovation is thought of the task that needs to get done, the next iPhone, the next whatever happens to be, or the process it took us to get there. And rarely do we talk about the people part of it. That's probably when innovation happens the most and the greatest. And so what happens when we bring a bunch of people together is teaming, is what we call teaming right now. We do it all the time. Apple does it, Google does it, Anvil does it. We bring a group of people together, we team. What happens though, and what I think people don't understand, is the mechanics of a team. And so what I wanted to highlight was there's 4 quadrants to a team, and we all go through it. And so we go into forming, we do storming, we do norming, and we get to performing. I didn't want to highlight so much. We talked a little bit about those other quadrants. The big one that we always struggle with is storming, which is if you get together enough with human beings, you are going to conflict, you're going to storm, because we have different ideas. And that's the beauty of getting together and innovating, is we have new ideas and different ideas. The problem is, or I guess the challenge is, how to get out of that storming thing. I looked around the room, a lot of people were just sitting there going, yeah, we've been in storming for 5-10 years. We have never gotten out of it.
So that storming phase, and you mentioned that conflict when you bring people together, but I guess one of the take-home points, or the final take-home point, was how do we get through that conflict? And the big word trust came up.
Yeah.
And trust with character and competency.
Yeah. So that's a lot of study that's been done for a long time. Stephen Covey is the father of trust. He's written a lot of books on trust, the speed of trust. And what he says is, let's put some labeling behind trust. Trust can be this kind of highfalutin word that we go, I trust you, you trust me. Mm-hmm. We don't actually know what we're talking about. So Stephen Covey puts some definition to it, and he says, look, character is important and competency is important. That means your virtues, your values, who you are as a man, who you are as a person, as a woman, whatever it happens to be, that's your character. How well you do your work, that's competency. You have to have the right matrimony for that, for me to go, you know what, Rick, he's smart, he's intelligent, he's also a good guy, he's got my back, I believe in his virtue, his values, I'm going to really trust him. That's something we had to work on today.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Matt. We certainly appreciate it. Folks, you can see the energy just spilled out from his presentation and our little conversation after his presentation. Look, if you want more information about our conference specific, or even how to get a hold of Matt Harrington, please visit our website at anvilconference.com. See you soon.